Good morning, San Francisco! It is a wonderful, wonderful foggy day out here in Haight-Ashbury. This is Free Talk SF, freetalksf.com. My name is Steven Zeiler. I am your host today. It is Thursday, July 2nd, 2015. And today we're talking about freedom in San Francisco, just like every day. So yesterday I decided to do some experiments in money. I think today's whole show is going to be mainly talking about crypto, Bitcoin, silver, independent money, and where we need to go in order to prevent the new age of digital money from really turning sour against freedom. And so I've been since PorcFest, everyone accepted Bitcoin at PorcFest. It was heaven. I could buy anything with Bitcoin. Just everyone accepted it, and then we even managed to convince some non-PorcFesters who had a shop to at least get the wallet and try the wallet. A lot of them really didn't understand Bitcoin, and now that I realize you probably may or may not understand Bitcoin all that well either, so I'm going to just give the basic rationale for Bitcoin. All of the world's money these days is pretty much digital money. It's controlled by computers. Most of it computers at your bank, like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, or your credit union, wherever you keep your money. All of that is really just digital representations. That's why you can have online banking and all of that. So the US dollar really is, yes, we do have these fancy notes, the US dollar, but the vast majority of US dollars actually just exist digitally in a ledger on one or more computers. Now, Bitcoin is a money mechanism that exists only on computers. It doesn't actually have any physical manifestation or representation at all. And the key with Bitcoin is, as soon as you have Bitcoin in your Bitcoin wallet, no one can prevent you from spending those Bitcoins and sending them to any other person in the entire world. Let me repeat that. No one can prevent you from sending money to anyone in the entire world. That means no bank holidays where you can't access your money because the bank and the government have decided that today's not a good day for you to access your money. What if you can't access your money on July 4th here? You probably can't access it on tons of different religious holidays, whether you're religious or not. You can't access your money on the weekends, and that's because the bank where you keep your money actually, they control your money. You don't control that money. You don't control that money. Instead, you have to ask the bank for permission to use your money. When you swipe your debit card, it asks the bank, can we spend this money? And as has happened to me before when I was traveling, the bank can say, no, you can't access your money. And for freedom-loving, independent San Franciscans here in the city, that not being able to control your own money and allowing the bank to basically control the economy is completely undesirable and contrary to our entire philosophy of life and movement. In the other direction, where instead of having to ask the bank for permission to send your money, or instead of having limits, say, of $300 withdrawals per day, or $1,500 transfers to your friend per day, and per day as in this transfer is going to take all night and it'll show up sometime tomorrow. Instead of relying on the bank to keep you secure, and instead of giving banks permission to hold our money and lend it out at interest, lend it out with extraordinary profits, but give none of the interest to us, the actual holders of the money, the opposite of that is complete freedom of money. The opposite of that is peer-to-peer money, where people can send payments directly to each other without asking anyone's permission. A free society is able to freely transact as they please without harming anyone else. A free society will demand that our monetary system not be controlled by the banks, but controlled by the people instead. So the amazing thing about Bitcoin is that it is a true manifestation of the free side of money. When you have your Bitcoin wallet, and a Bitcoin wallet essentially is a big number. It's essentially a big number, and it's a secret number that you store, for instance, on your phone or on your computer, and it can then be used to transfer money directly to anyone else. So I can store money on my phone where it exists nowhere else. And I can carry that money around in my phone like cash, but digital cash. And when I want to spend it, if I find someone who accepts Bitcoin, such as my landlord, they present with me with their device and their wallet, and I send them the Bitcoins. And so I actually got to do this with rent the other day, which was so satisfying. Being able, oh man, I've been getting paid in cryptocurrency, in digital currency, non-state, non-government currency for the past 2 years about, and it has been so liberating. Though a lot of the time I have to, unfortunately, convert that non-state currency back into US fiat dollars in order to pay things like rent. But now I found an awesome landlord who accepts Bitcoin. Thank you to Coinbase for making that happen. So I can send him Bitcoin directly from my phone wallet to his wallet. No bank in between. We didn't have to ask any permission of anyone. And the payment went through in a matter of seconds. No bank transfers, no logging into the banking portal. It was awesome. And the government was completely cut out of the transaction. The bank was not involved with the transaction at all. And the great thing about Coinbase is, after I sent him the Bitcoins to his Coinbase, he is able to immediately sell those for dollars and transfer them back into his bank account. I'm hoping that he will hold on to some of those Bitcoins, and he actually sounded like he wanted to hold on to some of the coins because he knows the math. He's done the math about the price of Bitcoin and the future. But oh, that was so satisfying. So now I'm asking every store I go to, every shop, do you accept Bitcoin as payment? Now, I have ran into exactly 0 people who even understood what that was in the last few days. I'll ask the cashier, do you accept Bitcoin as payment? And they are just totally confounded. They usually think I say, and maybe it's an enunciation problem, they usually think I say, do you accept big coins? Big coins, so yeah, big coins, big quarters and something. And the ridiculous thing is, some of them even said, yes, they accept big coins, but not Bitcoin, and they hadn't heard of Bitcoin. But I was in a diner yesterday, the Pork Cafe right around the corner, my new favorite place in the neighborhood, because I was talking to the the waitress, who may also be the proprietor of this store, and I was, of course, trying to get her to accept Bitcoin. She had no idea what it was, but the guy next to me, had a lot of great body modifications. He had a lot of gold jewelry on, and he started talking to me about Bitcoin. He said that Bitcoin, in order to become mainstream, needs to be able to, in the eyes of the world, the mainstream, it needs to not be able to support drug dealers. Basically, something like the government should be able to stop certain transactions. But when I pressed him, I said, okay, who exactly gets to decide which transactions go through or not? And he couldn't quite answer that. That's because there's no reasonable third party that should be able to decide who transacts in a free society. So he couldn't really get past that. But he also said that he loves Bitcoin and he's promoting Bitcoin in his business, and he's just running into challenges as well. But it's good to know that he, maybe a year or two ago, he might not have even heard of that. So I went on, and I couldn't get them to accept Bitcoin. But I had to ask, well, in that case, you must accept silver coins, solid silver, as payment. And she immediately perked up and said, oh yeah, we'll accept silver. So I was just taken aback. It was like a little piece of a libertarian dream had manifested itself right here in Haight-Ashbury. And I wonder what it is that makes her want to accept silver. If she's the proprietor of the store, then I can definitely see as a business owner, someone who really understands value, that she would understand silver and understand inflation. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back in there, and if she accepts silver, I'm going to have to patronize that place every freaking day. But so I'm going to try these out. These are silver coins, silver quarter ounces from Sons of Liberty Mint that I bought at PorcFest. Sons of Liberty was a local mint there. Really cool guy. He was like a character straight out of Atlas Shrugged, making these coins. And so here they are. I've got a nice handful. These are our quarter ounce coins, quarter ounce, pure silver, 3 nines. He said that they've tested to 4 nines silver. That's enough for me. 3 nines is enough for me. And so I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna spend these at that place, and I'm gonna try to get other people to accept these. And if she does accept them, I'm going to stop going to all these other places that don't accept silver or Bitcoin, and try to get her to offer more products. Because we need to support people who believe, who understand what money actually is. And this woman has a 5-year-old daughter. She's a real person living in the real economy, dealing with the actual restrictions. And so I want to support her, and I also want to spend this silver. So that, with any luck, that is going to happen, and I am really excited. Now, another thing about Sons of Liberty Mint, they make this great card, and this is actually something that I've done in the past and has inspired me to retake up the concept. The Sons of Liberty Mint makes these cards that are easy to hand out. This one has 1/10 ounce silver. And so if you don't know, 1 ounce of silver is about $15, $75, $16 right now. That makes this 1/10 ounce of silver about $1.50. Say it's $1.50, and that puts that puts a quarter around $4, $3.75, $4. and that's a 1/4 ounce. And so he thinks that these are super effective in handing out because it has this Sons of Liberty mint, and so people can check it out. Yeah, so I'm gonna get more of these, but what I want to do, I'm gonna put a little bitty QR code here. You'll be able to scan the code, and then it will show you on your communicating device. It will show you the exact price of that silver coin in real time in terms of dollars. So it's going to be like a normalizer for different assets. It'll probably show you the price in terms of Bitcoin too. Now, if you know any stores here in San Francisco, any places that accept Bitcoin, I am all ears. So please do write in or call in. And this is kind of a joke because I don't have a call-in line set up, but you can, I will in the future. So keep that thought. I want to patronize only Bitcoin stores in San Francisco. I want to patronize only places that accept silver and gold. Oh, the guy who is sitting next to me with the cool body modifications, he will accept gold. He says, "Yeah, I'll take gold. We should take gold." So this was unexpected, super unexpected for me. Being able to actually talk with people in San Francisco about real money and having the opportunity to begin building a network of businesses that take real money. That is just so validating and is making me move even faster with my efforts to establish a silver bank ATM out here in preparation for next year's PorcFest. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to build a ATM, a machine where you can buy silver coins with Bitcoin, and you can also buy silver, digital silver in your wallet, in your Ripple wallet. Okay, well, we will be right back with more talk about independent money on freetalksf.com. I'm Steven Zeiler, and stay tuned after this short break. Welcome back to Free Talk SF. I am Steven Zeiler, your host. It is Thursday, July 2nd, and we are talking about Bitcoin and free market money, non-state money, keeping your money away from the greedy banks. And I was talking about Bitcoin. So I read a great article yesterday by Andreas Antonopoulos, one of the leading voices in the Bitcoin movement. And he was describing what I think is a very accurate representation of the future of money. Right now, as I was saying earlier, all of the money, all of the dollars are digital dollars where you have to ask permission from a centralized party such as a bank or the government in order to spend your money. And we're seeing now in places like Greece where people actually just can't get their money anymore. Their money is gone. And here in San Francisco in America, it's not that bad yet, but it's going to be bad because everyone keeps their quote money, their quote savings, they keep it tied up in the stock market and in 401k and in a bunch of digital assets that they actually can't control at all. I mean, you just don't control your 401k. In order to get the funds out, you have to ask the bank that provides that service for your funds, and that means you're subject to restrictions and taxations from the government and the state, and that's the way that all the banks would want. I know because I work with banks a lot. They always want to control the money. They don't want you to control your money. They want you to have to ask permission to send money to anyone. And they'll talk about making it better and faster. But the whole point for a free society is that we do not ask permission to transact with other people in the free society. That's called freedom. And so the opposite is Bitcoin. The opposite is gold. And the opposite is Ripple. Now, I've been working on the Ripple project for about 2 years. And Ripple, let me tell you, you probably don't know about Ripple yet. Ripple is the #2 largest digital cryptocurrency in the world after Bitcoin. With Ripple coin, you can transact in directly peer-to-peer fashion, very similarly to Bitcoin, and no company or centralized third party can prevent you from transacting with anyone. You could even send millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin or Ripple to anyone in seconds, and no one could stop it. It's truly the digital money for a free society. We have to demand that our entire economy be built on top of these free tools, open tools, rather than the closed banking system, dollar, government, fiat garbage that has already lost 99% of its value because the banking cartel, the Federal Reserve, private, which is, by the way, Federal Reserve is a private bank that has a government monopoly to control the money supply. That should send chills down your spine. A private banking cartel has a government monopoly to control the money supply. Not with Bitcoin and not with Ripple. So we need to build the entire San Francisco economy on Bitcoin and Ripple and gold and all of the independent money systems that we can muster. Because our freedoms are at stake. All right, so now I have to, for those of you watching, I have to demonstrate quickly the Ripple application because my great buddy, partner, and I have been building this. So in the mobile world of Bitcoin, transfers are made via QR codes. So everyone's wallet has a QR code, and you can send money to my wallet by scanning this QR code. So what you do, you might click send and then scan a QR code. It will pop up with a camera, and if I scan a code, here I'll scan a code over here off the screen, it will get the payment address and I can send funds to that person. So all I have to do is click send and payment submitted. Now what's happening behind the scenes here, we'll soon see a pop-up saying the payment was complete. There we go. So payment success, 5 XRP, that's Ripple, and my balance went down from 962 to 957. Now what's going on behind the scenes? I just sent money directly to another person over the internet without asking permission of anyone. That's because I control a cryptographic key on my device, and there's a cryptographic key on the other person's device. And in the middle, what's facilitating the transaction is a network of computers operated by several dozen different companies and individuals with no single point of failure. So in a traditional payment system such as PayPal, you're probably familiar with PayPal, people can send money in between to each other, and in the middle, PayPal is the one entity that is processing the transactions and making them happen. Well, in the Ripple world, instead of one central party, there are several dozen so far. One day will be hundreds or thousands of different parties, and only a majority of them are required to to actually make the transaction happen. So there's no single point of failure. These different companies are based all around the world on different continents, and they exist under different jurisdictions. And here in America, we've actually had good success with convincing the government, state regulators that because we as a company, because there is no company that controls the protocol, that controls the Ripple network, it is completely legal, and we can continue operating without being, well, you know, put in cages and shut down. So I love Ripple. Ripple gets a bad rap from the Bitcoin people because, well, maybe because Bitcoiners are jealous that it is a superior technology in some ways, inferior in many ways as well. Bitcoin has the same type of feature where no single entity controls the system. In fact, anyone can contribute to payment processing in Bitcoin. And so being able to transact directly with each other is just too good. We have to have it. The entire economy and everything we're doing is based on the movement of money and the transfer of value. And we can't have middlemen sitting in the middle, leeching off of our economic productivity. And leached, by leeches I do mean bankers and government regulators. We can't have that. So let's adopt Bitcoin and Ripple. And you know, I actually think for the most people, they're gonna get silver and gold even more. Because, well, most people aren't really connected to the global financial system. They don't need to pay international transfers. Most people just live in their neighborhoods and their communities. And for San Francisco, I see especially gold and silver being able to play a humongous role in just trading locally. So I'm really looking forward to building out the network of people here who accept real money, the network of businesses, so that we can publicize that list of businesses that accept real money. We can patronize those businesses, promote them, help them expand, help them with technology. I hope that a lot of you out there are technologists. I am a software engineer myself, and there are, at this point, I see a critical mass of extremely incredibly intelligent technologists, engineers, and people in business here who probably aren't spending that much time in the political, ethical realm of society, but who have so much power and so much influence that we could really, really change things as far as freedom of money is concerned. And that means independence for our city. That means independence for our people who no longer have to depend on the state banks and no longer have to get permission to control their own money. All right. Well, it is now 30 minutes past. I've greatly enjoyed talking about Bitcoin and Ripple today and independent money. If you have tips for anything freedom related you would like to talk about, you can email showtips@freetalksf.com, and I would love to talk about that. So have a wonderful, free, liberty-loving day. Get out there and dance like no one's watching. Get in here and encrypt like everyone's watching, because everyone's watching. Encrypt your financial transactions if you can by using Bitcoin. Encrypt your messaging. Let's use PGP. let's use encrypted services like Wicker. Even Apple devices are supposedly encrypted. So let's promote encryption and encrypted money, independent money, freedom and independence for San Francisco, empathy for those struggling the most to live in such a highly regulated society, and connect with your neighbor in a real way. Talk to the actual person on the train. They have the same pains and concerns as you do, you'll probably find. And we can really connect with people and make this place the freest place on earth. Thank you for listening. My name is Steven Zeiler. It was a great pleasure. freetalksf.com. Until tomorrow, have a wonderful day.